The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that, if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
I ain't drunk, I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come on now,
time.
you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Hey kids, I am back. Happy Friday. Oh my lord, it has been a long week. I was on a business trip to Florida from Monday through, midnight of last night? Yeah, fuck me. Long week. Yeah, I'm gonna warn you right now. This to me is probably, and I have a head cold, so I'm a little dingy, but dingier than normal. And I'm going to warn you, if you have any little kids in the house right now, you may want to turn this off and wait till later to watch it, because this is not my normal rant. I'm probably going to be quite a cunt in this one, because something happened this week that really pissed me off. And, gosh, I'm doing this just off the hook, obviously, like I do everything. Let's start at the beginning. The best thing about this hobby, I think, and I've got a wall full of quads in front of me and just the most amazing friends I have met in Patriot Blades, my club. We have a Hangouts chat that we're all in, and we've got the club, and just these are like some of the best friends in my life. You guys know who you are. We talk every single fucking day, and I got my buddy Blackhawk, and I have met people that, from frame makers to antenna people to just manufacturers and friends, and just random people say, oh, I love what you're doing with Patriot Blades. I want to help. Here's something. I want nothing in return. And very seldomly do I ever adhere to that. Usually I give them something in return, because that's just the way I am. I try to be, I'm a lot of things, but I am honest and I am loyal. That is one thing that I do take pride in. And I don't usually even accept free stuff, usually. Case in point, my buddy at Mocha, who owns Mocha, he's a one-man band, up there. He's got a little race team and things like that, I believe. But I bought my first Mocha Simplex Deluxe, I think. And then I don't know if I contacted him or he contacted me. We ended up becoming friends. And when I say friends, I mean literally, we talk every day or every other day. We have swapped pictures of our families. I know what his kids look like. He knows what my kids look like. We've talked about work, because he's in not really a similar line of work as me, but he's in an industry like mine. I'm in robotics, and he's in vehicle design and things like that. So he's a great guy. And we are literally friends. Send each other Christmas cards, things like that. And he had said, hey, I want to send you my new Mocha Simplex Pro, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, okay, send me one. I'll check it out, but I'm also going to buy one, because you're not in this for free. I want to help you make some money, and I don't expect anything for free. I don't want anything for free. I have a good job. I can pay for my own toys. Everything that you guys see, with barring like maybe 2 frames ever, I buy. It's my stuff. And so when he sent me his Mocha Simplex Pro, which is my main bird, I bought one from him. And I bought my Jadina, and I bought this, and he'll send me little trinket stuff here and there, and then I buy another $120-odd Jadina frame from him. I mean, it's just, we help each other out. And that's one person. And then I've got guys at Tomaquad are cool, and guys at Kinetic Aerial. They've, just amazing people. And I know I bag on Bardwell a lot. And I think I'm kind of known for that. People always say, oh, I love the Bardwell jokes and blah, blah, blah. But they are jokes. That's all it is. I actually think he's probably a pretty good person as far as morality goes. He seems like it. He seems like a nice guy. He's a little odd. And, we're probably not the same flavor of life. But everything that I say about Bardwell is in jest. I like to poke him. He knows it. He and I have talked, not at length or anything, but I don't, you know, I don't hate him. I had a guy make a comment on the channel the other day. He goes, I love your content. I love this. I love watching you, you know, whatever. But, you know, whatever happened between you and Bardwell, bury the hatchet, you know. Like, nothing happened. I just, like, teasing him a little bit. And if he wants to tease me back, cool. I mean, that's the fun of it. If you're in my Patriot Blades Club and you're in our chat, oh my God, we're brothers. I mean, literally, we would fly to the other person's house and help them shovel snow or what, you know, whatever the fuck it is. But we just bash the living shit out. You think I'm bad on Bardwell? You should see how I talk to my guys in the club. I mean, we're just, and they do the same thing to me, and we love it. It's just, it cheers us up. It's fun. If you can't laugh at yourself, you've got something going wrong. And what I'm getting at is in this hobby, it's amazing. I've been all over the world. I travel internationally. I've met so many walks of life of people, good and bad, and, you know, just whatever. But with this particular hobby, for some reason, people are just fucking cool. I don't know why. I mean, it's just, I'm a big time biker, motorcycle guy. And, you know, bikers are the same way. You know, bikers, you know, they might look fucking scary, some of us, but I don't think. But some of my friends, oh my God, you saw them walking down an alley, you would not fuck with them, but yet they'll be the first ones doing a Toys for Tots donation. You know, they're just awesome, awesome people. And quads are the same way. The quad world we're in, like I said, you know, I'm an honest, I think I'm a reasonably nice person, and I bag on Bardwell, but again, it's in fun. But then you meet a couple bad apples. There's always a bad apple. There's always somebody, I need a drink. There's always somebody that's just an absolute twunt, okay? And I stole that term from a friend of mine in the UK. He says his wife calls him a twunt all the time. Shout out to you, Graham, which is a cross between a twat and a cunt, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. My wife calls me one all the time. But there's one particular guy, and I'm not going to name his name yet. And he is a mega fucking twunt, okay? Now, I'm going to start, this is going to be a long rant, and this rant is solely about this topic. So if you're bored, turn it off. But by the time I'm done with this, you're going to be pretty pissed off too. So I'm going to tell you the whole story. This guy reaches out to me on my YouTube channel, and he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Fair enough. And not real far from where I'm from originally. I was born in Chicago, and I was raised in northern Indiana. I used to go to Grand Rapids and still go to Grand Rapids all the time for work. Anyway, he reached out to me, and, you know, we started talking, and he's all flattering and stuff. And hey, I've met some of my best friends in the world on my YouTube channel. Shiloh and Warlock and FPV Fanatic and, you know, Space FPV and all these guys. And, so, you know, I give people a chance. You know, I think just about everybody in this hobby is fucking awesome. And so this guy and I'm very, very selective about who I let into my club and our club, sorry, and these other little things. So this guy and I get to talking, but one of the first things out of his mouth was, hey, I am building a quad for some abused 12-year-old or 15-year-old or something like this, whatever. Do you have any motors that you could donate? I've got everything but the motors. Would you mind helping me? Because he knows that Patriot Blades is dedicated to raising money for veterans and children and whatever. And that's going very well, by the way. I'll talk about that later. And I'm like, I'm thinking about my magic toolbox. I'm like, yeah, you know, for a beginner quad, something for a kid to bash around, I think I got some old racer stars in there I'll give you that are, like, in good shape. And so he's like, oh, that'd be great, man. He's all nice and whatever. And one thing about me, I have a very, very, very busy life between my family, my career, which is relatively extravagant, building quads for friends, building quads for the Patriot Blades, and trying to organize Patriot Blades. You know, I'm pretty busy. So I always do what I say. It might not be on time, you know. Like my brother Lincoln, I got his drone here that I'm going to finish this weekend. He's like, yeah, you've had my drone for a month. So anyway, I tell this guy, yeah, great. I would love to help a kid that's in need. You know, he gives me this big sob story about this kid's neglected or whatever. Sure, fine. I'll mail these 4 motors out to you, you know. And I got an email or text, it was a text, like every other day for a week or two. What, did you send those? Did you send those? This kid's harping on me, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, just really fucking weird. And I'm like, oh my God, really? You know, yeah, fine, dude. And I put them in a fucking box, you know, because I have a life. And I was going to send them, and I did. Bam. So then, this is where the story gets good. I'm like, this guy's kind of like, I'm doing you a favor, and I don't expect anything in return at all. But I'm doing you a fucking favor. You have no right to harp on me for not doing it in a timely fashion. Okay? It's not like you're hanging off a cliff and I offered you a fucking crane, you know? So anyhow, long story longer, he knows, and everybody knows, that I'm a mocha nut. I love mocha frames. My main birds, and you see a lot of birds that I build, the crazy gallery, the gorgeous birds I do, and I do all these really weird frames, and they're not all mochas, but my birds are mochas. And actually, I haven't sold one yet. I don't sell the mochas. Those are mine. And so anyway, he's like, I've contacted Mocha, and I want to mass produce the Jadina. Ah, let me go get the Jadina. Be right back. Bam. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared, but you know me. I'm never prepared. Here's my Jadina. Anybody that follows my channel knows probably that I built this. This was a gallery build. It's the most expensive quadcopter I've ever built in my life. It's teetering around the $450 mark. And this is my bird. It sits in the cabinet with Patriot, which is my American flag, you know, the mascot of our club. Absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, he sends me this text saying, I've contacted Mocha and I want to mass produce the Jadina. Okay, whatever. Good for you. You know, if Mocha's, you know, my buddy at Mocha, and he's a one-man band. Let me preset this a little bit. I am getting to a point. My buddy at Mocha, he has a family and a real job. He designs frames on the side and weekend work, if you will, because he loves the sport. He loves the hobby. He's not looking to make a living off of it, I don't think. But anyway, he says, I contacted Mocha and I want to mass produce the Jadina. Okay. Good for you. Why are you telling me this? Yeah. Now, mind you, I've only talked to the guy like maybe 10 times. And he goes, I want you to vouch for me with this guy and tell him I'm an honest, great person. I'm from the city, and I'm from the old school, where I don't vouch for anybody unless I've known you quite a while. Anybody in my club, I would vouch for. I would stake my life on anybody in my club. That's why they're in my club. But this guy I've talked to 10 times, and my buddy at Mocha I talk to on a daily basis, and I'm like, well, you know, whatever. So I don't really think about it much. And then Mocha contacts me, and he's like, I hear that this guy, you know, you've been talking about my Jadina. This is like a week later. And I didn't put it together, you know, because I'm an airhead. I'm like, I talk to everybody about Jadina. I talk to Blackhawk about the Jadina. I talk, you know, I love this frame. I think it's cool. And I'm like, so I kind of played along. I kind of played stupid, you know. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, so how well do you know this blankety blank guy? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, I've never mentioned the word Jadina to this guy in my life, to my knowledge. And so anyway, this guy is throwing my name around with the owner of Mocha, or with Mocha, saying, oh, JJ says you're this great guy, and blah, 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 and, you know, I'm a trustworthy person. And so Mocha asked me point blank. He's like, is this guy a friend of yours? I'm like, well, not really. I mean, I know him. Don't put me... And I told the Twunt, we're going to refer to him as Mr. Twunt, because I do not want his name mentioned yet. So Mr. Twunt, it's like, I've talked to him a few times, but I never said anything about talking to you about business or what. I don't want anything to do with quadcopter business. I don't want to design frames. I don't want to sell frames. I don't want to make a profit off anything. What we do for Patriot Blades is 100% driven for helping people. I mean, there's no profit involved. And so anyway, this guy's lying to Mocha saying, oh, well, JJ said this and JJ said that, and I'm a stand-up guy, and JJ and I are like great fucking friends. I'm like, no, we're not. I think the guy's a little off balance, honestly. I mean, I said I would send him some motors, and he fucking harassed the living shit out of me for like 2 weeks about it. So anyway, Mocha, and this is where this, if this Mr. Twunt is watching, this is where some reality is going to hit. The more this fucker harassed me, and then he started harassing me about Mocha. Because basically how it was going to be, he wanted Mocha to send him a free Jadina, which is an expensive frame, mind you. Send him a free Jadina so he could basically copy it and supposedly put it in mass production. I don't think Mr. Twunt's very bright. I never have. But that's fine. We're all different IQ levels. And so before Mocha did this, he talked to me, goes, "What do you think about this guy?" And I said, I don't know necessarily trust him. I think he's a little schizo. I think he's a cloner, to be quite honest with you. And I said, you know, I offered this guy 4 fucking motors, and he harassed the living shit out of me. And then he also said blah, 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 blah to me. And, you know, he was really being kind of a cunt. And so my buddy at Mocha took my advice and shut him down. He's like, well, you know, I don't want to do business with you. I'm just, you know, what, I don't know what he, actually I do know what he says because I have the email printed off. But anyway, he didn't send him the frame. So this guy goes fucking postal, right? He sends me a text. I've blocked him. He sends me a text saying, oh, ever since Mocha talked to you, he's shut me down and blah, 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 which, yeah, probably is my influence. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not going to take somebody who's a friend of mine and a guy I barely know and say to that friend of mine, you're a great fucking guy. You're trustworthy. You're not going to clone a frame and blah, blah, blah. So this is where, so I blocked him. He sent me this text like this fucking long. Any dude that sends a text that long, something fucking wrong with him. But anyway, and I told Mocha, I said, I blocked the fucker. I mean, he ain't right. And he's giving me all these sob stories about, you know, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It's his personal business. But, so Mocha blew him off too. I think Mocha blocked him too. And, so anyway, he ends up, I have a whole block full of emails here. Every single correspondence that this dumb twunt sent to my friend at Mocha, I have. And I have the digital signatures of them as well, because I am a computer guy, and I know how to track people. I know how to hack people. I know how to do everything. So I've got everything. So I want this guy who swear, and I'm not going to read all of these. There's like 20 pages here of correspondence between him and Mocha. And the first 19 pages is like, oh, "Boy, I love your frame, and I do this and do that, and da-da-da-da, and I'll suck your dick for this." And then it comes down to the point where he's like, well, I don't have enough money for shipping, the $12 or $26, I think it is, to ship from Canada to Michigan. Can you do it, and I'll pay you back? Like, really? This guy wants to mass produce your frame? And he can't afford the fucking shipping on a fucking quad frame? Really? Strike one, okay? Nothing against people that can't afford stuff, don't get me wrong, but that's kind of a red flag with somebody that's trying to get into a business. And this guy's just doing this sob story bullshit. I've read through the emails, and it's just like, oh, I'm trying to do this to make a living and, you know, support my fiance and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, really? Get a fucking job. But anyhow, so he's all sweet and just buttering everybody's buns, you know, and all this stuff. And then Mocha shuts him down. He sends me a nasty text. It's like this long. And I told him point blank, hey, one, you do not know me well enough to be sending me a fucking text like this. Number two, I told you a long time ago, don't involve me with your business transactions because I want nothing to fucking do with it, nor do I want my name associated with it. I support people that I want to support. Period. I don't get free shit. You know, and he's saying, well, you gave JJ a free Jadina that's the red carbon fiber, and that's what we want. And no, he didn't. I bought this. I did. Now, he did give me the red carbon fiber, which you can't buy, and the red aluminum, which is like something he only makes for friends, but I paid the $126 for this. And I also paid for the one that's sitting right here that I'm going to be building this weekend. Dumb cunt. So, I'm going to read you the final email that he sent to my good friend at Mocha. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. This is what it's all about right here. I blocked stuff out because I don't want anybody to know this guy's name. Listen, now this guy's the guy who swears up and down he's an honest person, and he's not a frame cloner, and he's not trying to steal anybody's stuff. Remember that, okay? Bam. Listen, I ended up with a Jadina from someone else who purchased it. Again, and he spelled it wrong. This is the second notification just asking you if you have a patent on this frame, because I'm going to copy it and send it to a carbon manufacturer to have produced. Really? Okay. I have looked, this doesn't even make sense, Lansing, and since you failed to do so, lots of money to be made in oot. This guy's a fucking ignorant bitch. By me, he's going to make a lot of money since I am the new owner of Jadina rights. That's hilarious, right? Patent pending. Then you will have to stop producing as there are copyright laws. Oh, I'm sorry, there is. You can't do grammar either. The guy's an idiot. Copyright laws to protect people like me. You really should have thought, because you did what you did to me, and in a manner that you did. You didn't care that you were totally screwing me. So now the tables are being turned. I'm actually a partial owner, and the carbon place is financing the patent. But I still can stop you. We are looking into other frames you have copied on Mocha site to see what else has no patents on them, so that they can clone them too. I'm so glad things ended up this way. It doesn't pay to screw people over, then avoid me like I did something to you, thanks, blah, 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 blah. And then there's 19 other pages of him spieling on about how he's such a great moral human being who's as honest as the day is long. Stupid fucking twunt. So, here's what I did. I talked with my friend at Mocha. He sent me everything. And I said, do you or do you not have a patent on this? And he goes, well, in Canada it takes years and years and years to do this and blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. I have a very good friend of mine who is a lawyer, okay? And he owes me a few favors, to say the least. And he's kind of like one of those mafia lawyer type of guys. But anyway, he's very good. He's very evil. And I said, okay, I've got this guy that's trying, and I told him the whole story. This is when I was in Florida this week. And I said, is there anything I can do to shut this fucker down? And he goes, absolutely. He goes, when did you buy your Jadina? This one, the one that this dumb cunt says that I got for free, which I did not. I said, I don't know, 4 months ago? It was well before, I don't know, it was a while back. And he goes, can you get a bank statement? I go, absolutely. He goes, okay. So here's what I did. And this will shut down our little buddy in Michigan very quickly. I don't care who's financing him, because I have more resources than he does. I contacted the patent office. And by the way, I think this is all bullshit, because I don't think this guy's bright enough, nor has the money to do it. But anyway, just in case he's not full of shit, and I am not, I contacted a patent office with my lawyer, and Mocha sent me the 3D models of the design and also the hard copies of this, and I took my certified bank statement dated of when I bought this. And my lawyer said, send that to the patent office, and that will be proof overriding of who owns the rights. Then when I have the patent, because his will get knocked out because I actually have proof of ownership, then I will take that patent and I'll send it to Mocha. He can put it in a safety deposit box and forget about it for the rest of our lives. I don't give a shit. So that just completely stumped him. Now, a couple things on that. And I really hope he's watching. If I don't get a response from him, one, I think he's a chicken shit anyway. I think he's just a dumb fucking cunt. But if I don't get a response from him via this video, I'm going to text it to him. I will unblock him long enough and text him the link. So he does know that I will have the rights to this. Actually, I will not. Mocha will, because I will send him the patent. And if he produces anything within realm of this design, and I'm sure he has not studied patent law, and I did this week, we will not only sue the living fuck out of him, but we will shut down everything and take everything, which I think is very little, that he owns. So there you go. Here's the other brilliant part to this. This guy is so fucking stupid, right? That he's like, okay, I want to ask you guys, I want you to name 4 vertical frames that are popular. Vertical arm. See that? Bam. 4 vertical arm. Name 4. You got this one. You got blank and blank. I can only think of 3. So this guy is staking, supposedly, his money, his business, his way of life on mass producing one of the most unpopular frame designs. Nothing against this, but vertical arms are not in. They're really not. Strutted arms are. like Catalyst Machine Works and things like that. Vertical arm, really? You're gonna start, Matt, I know a lot about production, and I know a lot about business. It's what I do for a living. You're gonna start your business and go through all this psychodrama to rip off a vertical frame arm, you stupid twunt. Are you kidding me right now? So anyway, here's... I mean, I think this is all bullshit. I really do. He would have, if this was true, he wouldn't have emailed Mocha again saying all this stuff. He would have just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it, and that's it. So now we have a paper trail, we have evidence, and we have all these things, and I will have the proper patent information. So fuck him. But, it's like, really? Now, getting back to cloning, it doesn't bother me as much when Chinese companies do it. It really doesn't, because the Chinese companies, for one thing, they're not in this country. Now, granted, Mocha's in Canada, but that's pretty much the 51st state. We're still neighbors, right? And a personal person copying another person and ripping them off is not only deceitful, but it's theft. Period. A big old company mass-producing something similar out of cheap carbon, I kind of say go for it, because really, you get one of these in your hands, and then you get, you know, one of the clones in your hands. It's not even comparable. And I just think it's hilarious. I really do. So here's what I'm going to do with this dumb twunt. this guy. Oh my God. I have not mentioned his name. I know everything about him. Everything about him. And I did not mention his name in this. I'm not looking to make a spectacle out of him. Nothing like that. But if he proceeds to copy my friend's shit, any of it, anything on the Mocha site, because he made a comment that was interesting to me. He's like, I'm going to see what else he has copied on his site. I know everything Mocha has done. Everything except the Mocha Deluxe, I think, is the folding frames. The only one I don't have. And it's like, not one of those frames did this man copy, because I know frames pretty fucking well, guys. I build like 5 quads a week. I know my stuff. And it's like the Mocha Simplex Pro, the Berserker, all these, you know, and his new one, the Glyph, all these, there's nothing else out there like it. So where this guy is getting off that Mocha copied shit, he's fucking dreaming. But here's what I'm going to do. I told him even in the beginning, I said, if Mocha doesn't want to play with you, because I was entertaining him, I was like, if Mocha doesn't want to play, go find somebody else that will. It's not a big deal. You know, go find, there's a zillion guys that are trying to get their business off the ground. But he didn't do it. So he decided to fuck with one of my friends, threaten him, and tell lies about me. So here's what I'm going to do. If I see one frame come out of anything from this guy that even resembles a Mocha, I am going to spread his company's name and his name everywhere I possibly can on social media. I mean, this guy's an idiot. You know, this guy, Mocha is a friend of mine. He knows Mocha's going to tell me. I know everybody. I might only have 1,200 subscribers, but that's not the point. It's not my YouTube channel. I know the owners at Get FPV. I know the owners at Farview. I know the owners at RMRC. I know all the places that he would want to sell this frame to. I have all the evidence, all the paperwork, and everything about this shit, and I will make sure he could not give a fucking frame away. And I will make sure everybody knows his name, knows his company's name, knows what kind of a piece of shit he is, and I will do my best to continue doing that every day on my YouTube channel. I am tenacious. You know, I will drop joking with Bard, because Bardwell's jokes. It's just for fun. I will drop anything I do with Bardwell to solely focus on this dumb twunt in Michigan that has done this backhanded, thieving, lying bullshit to my friend. I just will. And every single person in my club and every single person on my channel will just be on my side, because this is crap. Bardwell would be on my side. Anybody would be on my side. This is bullshit. It's like, if you're that hot and heavy to design and live off a frame, and that's the other thing, dude, there's no money. You're not going to be able to live off this. But anyway, Mocha will tell you that. Anybody will tell you that. The money's in the electronics. The money is not in the frames. But anyway, yeah, so If he does not cease and desist, not only will we attempt to sue him, or at least scare him into it, I will make sure his name is mud in the quadcopter world for as long as I possibly can. I would rather hop through daisies holding Bardwell's hand in a skirt than let this guy get away with this shit. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sorry it was a long rant, but this is something that really fucking pissed me off. I contacted lawyers. I did patent shit. Fuck him. Really? Don't be a piece of shit. Go design your own frame, you dumb twunt. I'm sorry. That's just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for listening to me air out. Later. Bye.
Bam, JJ!
Bam, JJ! Hope you like fishing.